The following video presentation is brought to you by the Wild Hog Eradication Action Team, otherwise known as W.H.E.A.T. W.H.E.A.T is a 24-organization partnership dedicated to the eradication of wild hogs in Tennessee. To be clear, wild hogs include feral swine and wild boar. To put this in perspective, let's watch a news report from NBC's Today Show.
What one expert says is becoming a national crisis, wild pigs. They have razor-sharp tusks, a bottomless appetite, and their numbers are rapidly growing. Here's NBC's Kerry Sanders.
Bounding across a Florida pasture, a wild pig. Ranchers say the invasion of feral swine is a major problem, and nationwide, it's getting worse.
Like having a rat in your house. They're just not a good thing.
To get a better view, we climbed on board a chopper at sunset. Wild pigs are most active in the last hour of daylight, and we spotted dozens on the run across the 2,000-acre South Fork Ranch in Okeechobee, Florida.
Look at those guys right there, and that's normal.
Yep, that's a nice big family unit. And then maybe that one way out there to the side, that might be a big boar.
Wild pigs can weigh more than 200 pounds. They're destructive, digging up fields and lawns, and can kill livestock and spread diseases. Now they're moving north. In 1987, there were about 2 million wild pigs in about 20 states, mostly in Texas, Florida, and parts of the South. Now, an estimated 6 to 8 million wild pigs are roaming in 47 states.
This increase that we've seen in wild pigs is unquestionably dramatic. We don't have another species here in the U.S. that is increased at this same rate.
Experts say the population explosion is partly due to hunters transporting wild pigs across state lines. Some of the animals have escaped from hunting preserves, and they reproduce 2 litters a year. So the problem is only getting worse.
The reason people should care because eventually it could result in increased cost at the marketplace.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates this invasive species is responsible for more than $1.5 billion in agriculture damage and destruction each year.
And this truly is becoming a national crisis. We don't take this seriously. If we don't do something, this is going to wind up costing this country a lot of money.
For today, Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Okeechobee, Florida.
A moment ago, we heard about wild hog damage in Florida. The same damage is occurring in Tennessee where hogs exist. For example, damage to crops, pasture, memorial areas, golf courses, and residential areas is occurring. Wild hogs are exotic to Tennessee, much like kudzu. Nearly everyone is aware of kudzu and its invasiveness. Wild hogs are no different in this respect. They don't belong here. Originally, there were no wild hogs in Tennessee. However, in the 1920s, hogs escaped from farms and a hunting preserve, resulting in 2 isolated feral populations. Hunting was allowed in these areas, but populations continued to grow. Damage became a problem, and isolated pockets of hogs began occurring in a few new areas. With increasing populations and damage, Tennessee created a statewide hog hunting season in 1999, making it legal to hunt even in areas that didn't have hogs. Unfortunately, this action had an unintended consequence. It encouraged illegal stalking in unoccupied areas for hunting purposes. Have a look at a current range map pictured at the top of your screen. If this issue isn't addressed now, the map could change to what's pictured below in just 10 years. The time to deal with this issue is now, before it's too late. W.H.E.A.T is working to reverse Tennessee's troubled past with hogs by eliminating incentives for wild hogs to be illegally stocked, creating effective means of control for landowners, and conducting adequate outreach. Now that we understand wild hogs aren't controlled by hunting, let's talk about a proper response. First, we need to determine if wild hogs occur in our area by identifying sign. Take a look at the wild hog track pictured on the right. The hog track is more rounded than the deer track pictured on your left. Rooting is an obvious sign already discussed. Wallows and rub trees will also be present in areas where hogs frequent. If the presence of wild hogs is confirmed, it's crucial to begin control immediately since wild hog populations can double in a year and problems only compound. Delayed response by some have experienced losses of entire cornfields. In some cases, hogs have gone row by row, rooting up corn seed following the planting. Wild hog control requires cooperation by landowners since wild hog home ranges typically include multiple properties. Unfortunately, it's easy for landowners to work against one another. For example, a landowner baiting and shooting will cause hogs to become more nervous and trap shy, interfering with a neighbor using trapping, the most effective approach. Wild hog trapping by landowners can be done outside of big game hunting seasons without a license. Landowners desiring to trap during big game seasons or have friends assist them can obtain an exemption from TWRA to do so. Trapping is not a simple, short-term, or cheap solution. Rather, it's a year-round process requiring an initial investment and time. Wild hog trapping is the most effective means of long-term control, but only when done correctly. Done incorrectly, trapping results in trap-shy hogs impossible to harvest. Trapping should target entire groups of hogs, not individuals. Patience is required of trappers, and conditioning of hogs to trap areas is necessary. Potential sites may be baited with corn before traps are constructed to evaluate areas as trap sites. Limit the number of trips to sites while monitoring. Utilizing trail cameras can help reduce the number of visits required to monitor sites. Once hogs are consistently visiting a trap site, trap construction should begin. Trap materials should include wide trapdoors and strong panels. Baiting should continue throughout construction. Trappers should always minimize disturbances and not drop trapdoors until all hogs are inside the trap. Using trail cameras is the best way to determine when to set up to drop the trapdoor. When the time comes, tree stands or blinds should be used. Your best option is using a trapdoor controlled by a keyless entry device. Most wild hog activity occurs at night, thus lighting is a limiting factor. Trappers can use dim light sources inside trap areas or monitor trap sites using night vision or a camera system. If these possibilities don't exist, root sticks can be utilized to control trapdoors as the last option. Misusing root sticks and missing hogs will result in generations of trap-shy hogs. Once hogs are captured, they must be humanely killed. Removing live hogs from traps is prohibited in Tennessee. Contact a TWRA office for trapping advice or information on alternative methods of control. Contact information is available at tnwildlife.org. USDA Wildlife Services also offers assistance to landowners, including an aerial gunning program. Check out the wildlife damage area of their website. For more information on wild hog control, see wildpiginfo.com. In conclusion, W.H.E.A.T has established a program to reward individuals who provide information leading to the conviction of persons involved in the sale, illegal transportation, and/or stalking of hogs. To report such activity, please call the number on the screen. Transportation requirements for legally possessed wild-appearing swine can be found on the Tennessee Department of Agriculture's website. Thank you for your attention, and special thanks to all the organizations making up the Wild Hog Eradication Action Team.